They actually made a movie about the main character from Inside Out. And they released it the same year as Inside Out. That's amazing to me, guys. That was so fast. Good job, David O. Russell. That was impressive. He watched Inside Out, he put together this movie in 5 months, and then boom, we have our movie. Anyway, guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, back with yet again another movie review. Guys, I saw 2 movies in the theater today, and they were the last 2 movies I've seen in a theater in 2015. That's right, guys. I finally saw 2 other films today, one of them being the movie I'm going to be reviewing in this video, and that is Joy. Okay, going to be reviewing Joy. And the other film I saw was Creed. Finally saw Creed. Alright, and I am reviewing them now, and I can finally post my video of my top 10 picks for the best movies of the year. I cannot wait to do that. Again, just a quick refresher, guys. I'm going to stop reminding you after this video because at this point I'm pretty sure you guys already know. Can't do videos over 15 minutes. I know a lot of you were suggesting to split my videos into 2 parts. Some videos that I do want to make longer than 15 minutes, I am going to do that, okay? I already knew that. I did that in the past before I was able to ever make 15-minute longer than 15-minute videos. Just to let you guys know. So I do know that. I have been reading your comments. But yeah, like I have a Blu-ray update I want to do, like showing my entire collection. I'm going to do that in January. I'm going to split that into 2 parts. So, but movie reviews I'm still going to keep under 15 minutes because I don't want to split movie reviews into 2 parts. That's just dumb. But anyway, with that said, guys, just wanted to make that known again. But yes, check out my review for Creed, which is going to be uploaded right after I post my review for Joy. Now, guys, Joy is from director David O. Russell as he is re-teaming with his favorite castmates from Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle. Those castmates being Jennifer Lawrence, Robert DeNiro, and Bradley Cooper. That's right. He's worked with these 3 people for the last 3 movies. Damn it, man. Get new actors. No, that's fine if you work with the same actors. A lot of people are like, why is this guy working with the same 3 actors? Look, if you like working with actors, then work with them, okay? I've done the same thing at school in my movies. I've worked with several actors more than once. Some I like working with more than once, some I don't. He likes working with actors more than once. It works. So anyway, guys, Joy, okay? It was a movie I was definitely looking forward to see. This is David, or I don't know what film number this is. I know this is his, like, 4th newest film, because he had The Fighter, then he had Silver Linings Playbook, and then he had American Hustle. Alright, now we have Joy, and getting into the premise behind Joy, guys, the movie is definitely a period piece. It's set somewhere in the 1990s, and we focus on a young, hardworking, middle-class mother who is named Joy. Okay, she is basically the only one who's doing work in her whole family. She is just taking care of the house and her kids. Alright, she is paying the bills. She is working at this mediocre job as like an airline stewardess at an airport. Alright, she does not have the greatest life, as it is pointed out to us many times. And ever since she was a young girl, she always aspired to do something really great with her life. Her grandmother was a big inspiration for her. She told her when she was very young that she needs to go out there and really make something of herself and not just, you know, become like a deadbeat, alright, and just, you know, succumb into doing everything that a woman would do in society, okay? She needs to make something with her life. She's always had a very imaginative mind as a young child. So Joy is then encouraged at some point early on in this movie to go forth with an idea for an invention. Okay, I'm not going to get into too much about that. That's all I want to say. And this is going to bring her family a lot of relief. At the same time, it's going to bring them all into turmoil. Okay, her very dysfunctional family. It's going to bring things into a very hectic and chaotic state, and it's just going to be a lot of stress for her. Okay, a lot of stress for her. So guys, that is essentially the main premise behind Joy. Now, I'm going to be honest, I was very skeptical going into this movie. I wasn't sure if it was going to be another Silver Linings Playbook or another American Hustle. If you guys know my feelings for those movies, I love Silver Linings Playbook, okay? It was one of my favorite movies of 2012. Great movie, okay? And I find it amazing that David O. Russell has released a movie every year except 2014 since 2012. I think that's amazing. But no, and he did The Fighter in 2010. Okay. And then he released American Hustle in 2013. And if you guys haven't seen my review for American Hustle, in my opinion, that's one of the most overrated movies in the last 5 years. I hate that movie. I do not care. It's not like it's terrible. I just personally do not care for it at all. So I really wasn't sure what I was going to get with Joy, okay? The trailers looked interesting. They looked kind of like a mixed bag for me. And in the end, after having seen the movie, I will say this much. Joy is a very decent movie, okay? I like what the movie is trying to say. I like the performances from our actors. I think the script is not bad. I think it's really good. I think that there were some missed opportunities. I think there were some routes the script took that definitely went into cliche territory that I did not care for with this movie. But then I think there were other moments that really worked. I think there were some central focal points in this movie that worked very well for me and actually surprised me quite a bit. It is miles better than American Hustle, okay? American Hustle, ugh, okay? Overrated. This movie is a lot better. It's a lot simpler, okay? American Hustle is just a complex, just convoluted mess. I hate it. It just had too many ideas, just too much. I'm not here to rant about the movie. I've done that enough on this channel. Let's talk about Joy, okay? Here's one thing that worked incredibly well with Joy. Now, I know that early on, David O. Russell, because this movie is based on somewhat true events of a woman actually named Joy Manganiello, okay? She was an Italian-American who actually did make this certain invention that the character makes in this movie. I don't want to spoil anything. And she actually does become very successful with her life. So that's what this movie is based on. But when the film starts, it openly states based on the accounts of several women. So right off the bat, right with that opening title sequence, you know that David O. Russell really wanted to make a film about women, and not really just for women, but to show that women, you know, like, you know, to give us a central focus on a woman struggling with all these demands, all these struggles that a typical mother would face, hardworking middle-class mother would face, but at the same time to show that women, you know, or this particular woman has a brain. She is inventive. I'm not trying to say that to be mean, okay? Every woman has a brain, but she wants to make something of herself. She has giant aspirations, and I know that from the very beginning and throughout the entire film, David O. Russell is trying to tell us that, listen, when you have a certain dream, and it's not just a woman in general, it could be anybody, okay? Follow the certain paths that you have set for yourself ahead of time and work to make the aspirations that you have come true and actually lived out, okay? Live them out. Go for them, okay? Don't hide back and cower and, you know, not express yourself. And if you have a certain idea or an invention, just go for it and let it out and give it to the world, because you may never know what it's going to bring. And I gotta say, that really, although they were just beating that point to you to death in this movie, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because I think it really worked for me, and it really, that main message affected me pretty well. Because in one of the final scenes in this movie, where Jennifer Lawrence is meeting with a middle-class couple, okay, that's all I'm going to say, who has an invention, okay, it's one of the final scenes. It hit me, okay, I'm not going to I'm going to be honest with you, it hit me pretty hard. It was in my opinion one of the most emotionally satisfying scenes of the entire movie, and it really worked quite well for me, and that's why I really enjoyed, that's one reason why I enjoyed the story behind Joy, because it does have a good message, and although it goes the cliched route in moments of showing us like, oh look, this is how bad her life is, okay, or this is where her story is going to go, and we see where it's going to go. It may be predictable at moments. I do think it works though, okay, not saying it doesn't work. Yeah. So overall, that's a good thing I definitely have to give praise for Joy about. Let's quickly get into performances before I forget. Jennifer Lawrence, okay? She's an amazing actress. We all know that. You guys all know that, okay? I've always loved her work since the first Hunger Games. I think Silver Linings Playbook might be her best performance to date, and I think this is another one of her best performances, honestly. I would love to see her get some Oscar love come Oscar season. I think she's great in this movie. I think there are so many pressures that are just surrounding her, and although some of them don't seem fake, and I definitely didn't care for a few of them, and they felt too cliched, as I've been saying, I really bought the fact that she is just this woman who really should just be breaking down just like emotionally and mentally, just like I can't do all this. I can't raise this family. I can't have this dysfunctional family in my life that's just like, oh, we got to pay this bill. We got to pay this bill. Oh, I got a mother who watches soap operas all day. She's not going to do anything, okay? She's got so many pressures on her, and Jennifer Lawrence pulled that out in her performance so perfectly, in my opinion. There's a great scene where she breaks down in this movie, and when she breaks down hard, and it hits you where it needs to hit you. There are other moments where I think she stands very strong on her own, and I think that's perfect, okay? She is a very independent woman who has this great idea, wants to see it come to life. I bought into that character. I felt emotionally attached to her. I felt that she was a strong character overall. She led this movie. She carried this movie very, very well. There are moments that make you smile that I think Jennifer Lawrence brings out moments perfectly. For example, when she's first demonstrating, there's a scene where she needs to first demonstrate her invention on public TV. I love that moment so much. It gives you just that really good feeling inside as you're watching it. Almost kind of like Silver Linings Playbook. It was one of those like good feeling movies that left you with a good feeling after you watch it. That's sort of the feeling you get as you're watching this entire movie, even though she's literally been she's been dealt a shit deck of life, okay, in terms of cards, okay? But Jennifer Lawrence was great, definitely one of the best performances of the year. Robert De Niro, in my opinion, steals every scene he's in the beginning. I think we didn't see too much of him towards the end, and I really just wanted more De Niro because it's freaking De Niro, and he's great. There's a great moment where he's on a dating site over the phone, and I think that worked incredibly well. I think De Niro was just a great piece for this movie. If he was in a few more scenes, I would have said he's best supporting actor worthy. The only reason why I'm not saying he isn't is because he wasn't in enough of the movie for me. Bradley Cooper had a lot less of a big role than I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to be like one of the family members or one of the main characters, but he isn't. But I thought his role fit well. I thought he was good. I don't think there was anything that was mind-blowing about him. The movie didn't focus on him. It was focused on Jennifer Lawrence, and I think in that respect, not focusing on Bradley Cooper because he's Bradley Cooper was also very good. Isabella Rossellini is also very good in this movie, I thought. And whoever played the kids, I thought were also pretty good. Whoever played Joy's daughter, I really liked. Just not knowing names of actors. Joy's grandmother was also very good, worked as a narrator for me very well. I think the film is well directed in terms of the way it's cut together. It works. There are a few cuts I didn't think that worked, but that's just me being nitpicky and just being, all film school, like, that cut doesn't work, or no, that cut's jarring, what the hell? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that all worked for me. Shot-wise worked. It definitely feels like a period piece in terms of makeup and the way every character's hair is done, just in terms of shooting locations. I love the whole bit outside the Kmart, okay, because I love just seeing that Kmart and all the cars, so it definitely feels like a production piece, a period piece in that respect, so I gotta definitely praise the movie for that. I think the score is really good. I think the soundtrack is very good. Some great 90s music in there. Good job, movie. Yeah, I think all of that works very, very well. I think the script is good in terms of what the movie was trying to say. I think David O. Russell does a very good job behind the camera. I always felt he was a good director. Even though I didn't like American Hustle, the movie looked good, definitely. Cinematography is good. It also does have a bit of a grainy look, like it was shot on film, which I think also kind of works for this movie. Getting into complaints, I do have a few complaints. I don't think this is a perfect movie. I think this is definitely a feel-good movie in moments. I think it definitely brings the spirits up. I think it has a good way of making you feel good and making you feel inspired in a way, and I think that's great. But getting to those cliches, I think it was so cliche in the beginning of this movie to really just throw every bad thing on the main character and just like, oh, look, she's got a crappy job. They're going to make her change her hours from day to night, which is never again looked back on in the movie. I think I did not care for the character of Joy's mother at all. Just a woman sitting watching soap operas. That did not work for me at all. That felt so dumb and just cliched, and I just really did not care for that character at all. There were definitely some moments of the movie that took the predictable route. Okay, there were some... I didn't think the movie was ever slow or boring. It didn't feel that way. I just overall feel that the cliches and just the, look at every single bad thing on this character just weighed the movie down for me and took a bit of realism out of it and took me out of it. It felt a little forced. Other than that, I really enjoyed Joy. I am going to give Joy a solid grade of an 8.75 out of 10 or a B+. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. If you love Silver Linings Playbook, I think you'll like this. If you hate American Hustle like me, you'll still like this more than that movie. Okay, so guys, that's all I have to say about Joy. I'm running out of time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.